course, acknowledge the board, the management, the shareholders of Centercom, and all the other partners that are here with us, and of course, most importantly, the staff. I do not intend to make a long speech, but one of the key points that you do need to note, and we as a government are also planning for this, we have a very young population. Today, 70% of the Fijian population is below the age of 40. 65% of the population is below the age of 35. So you have a lot of young people. When you have lots of young people, it means we'll get lots of babies also. Young people make babies. Old people don't. So in terms of government planning, we have to ensure that there's sustainability, in particular, in access to free education. As you know, most of you would know, old enough to know, only a few years ago, Fiji did not have free education. Today we have free education all the way from early childhood all the way to year 13. We have scholarships, toppers, we have TELs. So from a government perspective, a strategic decision made some 9 years ago to ensure that we have access to education for all Fijian children. And that today is now playing its part. You've heard comments about the excellent education facilities and the environment we have. A lot of it is to do with the fact that most people now are able to get educated all the way up to year 13. Today we have more females in schools than ever before, more females in schools than boys, more females in university than males. And that's precisely as a result of free education. Of course, there are things like, free bus fares, etc. The reason I'm highlighting all of this to you is because we need to ensure that the companies that come to Fiji also know that they can rely on a workforce that's not only about the bulla smile, but also have the academic, the knowledge base, the intellectual input that they require for those businesses to be actually sustained in Fiji. And that's critically important. We have a number of challenges. This morning, we had a meeting with the Deputy Prime Minister of Australia. We had breakfast with him. And we talked about how we need to ensure that there's a more integrated approach between the Australian and Fijian economy. We have a lot of synergies that we can actually further develop. Australia is only 3.5 hours, 4 hours away from Fiji, at least Sydney is. So there's a lot more opportunity in terms of that integration that's critically important. We met a few weeks ago with the chair of KPMG, as Irene was here. KPMG chair was here, and they're looking at how they can also expand their services, use the services of Fijians, based here providing services for Australians from Nadi. Or, as I read in the briefing regarding Centercom, you're setting up your offices throughout Fiji. And that model, I think, just to digress, is very attractive. Large call centers, large business processing outlets in one location is not necessarily conducive to a very small country like Fiji. People are always a lot more happier when they're closer to home and they go to work, to travel shorter distances, to be able to be grounded in where you have been brought up. So I read that Centercom intends to open up in Vanuatu, and we look forward to that. We like to keep the people in Vanuatu. We like to actually send people from Vitilevu to Vanuatu. It's very important. There's been a huge migration of people from Vanuatu to the Suvarnasori corridor. That's why your Scotta area is developing. But Vanuatu is a lot of land, a lot of opportunities. As also highlighted, we have the Southern Cross cable that lands, as you know, in Vatuanga and Rifle Range. It connects Australia via Fiji to the west coast of North America. Many other Pacific Island countries come to Fiji to connect to the Southern Cross cable. When Samoa wanted to connect to the Southern Cross cable, they are up in the northeast, they bring the cable down. That cable had to pass between Savusavu and Taveuni. So we saw that as an opportunity that we could actually build a pipe out of that and land a submarine cable in Vanuatu, which meant that internet speeds, connectivity was become a lot more reliant, a lot more reliable, and the bandwidth, of course, would be expensive. TfL has recently announced that in the next 2 years they'll be running fiber optic cable from Lambasa to Savu-Savu. We just announced in the budget that was presented in August, we've allocated $1 million in this year's budget to land a second submarine cable, but in the western part of Viti Levu. God forbid, if we have a volcano like Tonga did, if it blows up the Southern Cross cable, you won't have any work to do. We'll be cut off completely. So we need to build redundancy. And by having a second submarine cable, so we currently are looking at various sites doing the EIA so we can very soon land a second submarine cable. So if anything, one goes down, the other one is always up. But it also means with the second submarine cable, we have the opportunity to tick one of the other boxes where a lot more companies will become attracted to come and have these types of businesses in Fiji. So there's a lot at play. There's a lot of opportunities. And we made a strategic decision as a government some years back that this is one area we wanted to venture into. Today, businesses that get into the BPO sector get a 20-year tax-free holiday. They don't pay taxes for 20 years. There's one particular company that recently wanted to come to Fiji, but because they're an OECD company and their gross turnover is a lot higher, they will still, under the OECD rules, need to pay 15% tax. But we've also agreed that, okay, you can pay the tax, but we'll give you some other incentives to continue to make Fiji attractive. So I'm highlighting all of this to you, in particular the staff, that there is a game plan that we have behind the scene. We'd like you to grow into your work. As has been highlighted earlier on, there is opportunity for senior management also. We're looking at FNU, talking to FNU as to how we can offer more courses at FNU, how we can offer more sort of advanced courses in FNU, so Fijians can actually start to take up senior management roles. And that's critically important. And for any business to be attracted to Fiji, they need to understand that we have an environment right from the educational sector to the training sector, in the economy, in the infrastructure, that is conducive for them to come to Fiji. So I'd like to thank Centercom for your investment, of course, in Fiji, your partners, Fiji Airways. But I'm really attracted to Centercom's approach to having different outlets in different towns and cities. I think that makes it very attractive. I think you'll find a much more happier workplace, and of course, a lot more happier employees. And from that perspective, it ticks all the boxes for us. So congratulations to Centercom. And I was here some years back, last year. I see that the owners of the building are here, they're smiling. Obviously, they've got tenants now. And there was a particular meeting here. So, I mean, it's a win-win situation for everybody. We have a unique opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. As highlighted, we are exactly 12 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. It fits in well with UK. We have a good workforce. We're very close to Australia and New Zealand. COVID-19, if you look at the glass half full, there are many opportunities that have come out of that, and we must grab it. And what is critically important in all of this is for any investor, for any person in this country, we need to have continuation of policies and we need to have stability in policies. And that will lend to a lot of confidence going into the next coming years. There is a sea of instability globally. We can see what's happening in Russia, Ukraine, etc. But out of that, if your ecosystem, if your country, if your workplace, if your employers and employees have a conducive approach, have a synergistic approach to each other and their relationships, then we can actually make and do really well. So I wish you all the best. Congratulations on the opening of this Nadi branch. Vinaka Bakalevu, and I wish you a very good evening. Vinaka.
We started in 2014 with 35 agents servicing Fiji Airways customers globally. And today we're at 650 employees. And one of my lines when I'm pitching to a new partner is I say to them, if you want to see what we're like, just call Fiji Airways. And that has landed us some very strong new partners. We're aiming next year to be at about 1,000 employees sometime next year. I don't know when, but that's certainly on our radar. And first and foremost, we're a people company. I mean, yes, we provide customer service and back office support for global brands from around the world, but it really is all about our people. Our true aim is to be the best employer in Fiji, not just in terms of package, but the best office culture, the best work environment, and the best locations. And Nadi is a part of that. And we're partnering with Australian and global brands to create valuable and highly skilled jobs for Fijians. Our employees are not just part of Centercom. Our employees are an integral part of the Australian and global companies that we work with. And if I may share an anecdote, through Fiji's wonderful tertiary education system, I understand there's somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 accountants that come out of university or tertiary education here every year. And one of our global clients recently asked us to recruit 20 of them, quite recently. And within weeks, the team had done so well and built such strong confidence that they added another 20. And some of the original team members who, when I met with them and I said, look, if you do really well, you're going to grow this team and there's a career here for you. And some of those original team members are already stepping up, which is within weeks, into leadership roles in that larger team. And it will grow, it's just the beginning. That's just to handle work in Australia. This company is also in the UK and also in the United States. So it's a beachhead. Well done, Angie, because she's heading up that team. Centercom has racked up quite a few firsts. We're the first Australian-Fijian joint venture BPO to set up in Fiji. And through our partners, Fiji Airways, FNPF, all of our employees and all Fijians get to share in our growth and success. We're the first BPO in Fiji to have a female CEO. We're honoured to have Carol Watkins as our fearless leader, bringing experience, integrity, acumen and professionalism to Centercom and the Fijian business community. We thank her for her amazing stewardship over the past few years and most importantly, as a proud Fijian, creating a company culture that others are drawn to and want to be part of our team. You make us all proud. Thank you, Carol. We're the first BPO in Fiji to put forward the idea of a BPO Council of Fiji, where we banded together with other Fijian BPOs to form a strong association. And with government support, thank you, to help us raise awareness of Fiji as an outsourced destination. Again, we thank Carol for her leadership role at the BPO Council in its formative years. We're the first BPO in Fiji to have multiple locations. And a key factor of our choice in Fiji, besides wonderful advice from Andre and Rajesh, always mentioned, go west. It's part of our goal to be employer of choice by bringing the jobs to the people. When we were consulting with our employees, as we do with big decisions like this, about where we should expand to and whether another location in Suva or somewhere else or to come over west, we surveyed all of our team members and asked how many of them had moved from Suva, from Nadi to Suva for work. And quite a few put up their hands. And I'm happy to say that 30 of our team members from Suva have actually moved to Nadi to be closer to their families. And we are very happy, and that's one of the key factors in our decision to be here. And now we've created over 120 new jobs in Nadi. That's where we're at right now. This centre has capacity for 220 daytime seats and 220 nighttime seats for our UK partners. As we have grown, so has our reach, and Australia naturally was the first country to recognise Fiji as a natural outsourced destination with an abundance of friendly Fijians, and you can really hear that smile through the phone, and that's part of part of what we also pitch to new partners. With a natural inclination towards customer service, cultural alignment. I mean, you've heard all this before, with English as a common language and a love of rugby. You've got that cultural alignment and world-class education system and plenty of people willing and able to take up careers. High Commissioner, companies in the UK, we call out to them as well. We're now being noticed globally, and many of the synergies that Fiji has with Australia also apply to other English-speaking and in particular Commonwealth countries. So we already have several UK clients from the British Isles, and they also have much to gain in partnering with us in Fiji. With the time zone being almost exactly the opposite, it's a perfect situation. We now have capacity of 600 seats for UK British Isle companies to come and be part of these creating jobs here. I could go on, but I have to leave some for next time, because the one thing's for sure is this is just the beginning of our story. We've got a long way to go. Thank you very much for joining us.
Bula, everyone. No one arrives at a moment like this without the help and support of a great many people. Please indulge me while I take some time to acknowledge and thank them. Our Attorney-General, the Honourable Aiyaz Sayed-Khaiyum, thank you for being here to officially open our second centre. And thank you for being a huge advocate of our industry, which is currently creating thousands of jobs for young Fijians. The Minister of Tourism, Transport and Trade, the Honourable Aiyaz Koya, we thank you and your team at MCTTT for all that you have done and what you continue to do to support our industry. Thank you very much. Our JV partner, Fiji Airways, and the Kasar family, thank you for believing in Fiji and continuing to invest in our company. Centercom has continued to invest in Fiji ever since it started its operations back in October 2014. Over the past year, the company has invested an additional $3.5 million in our current and upcoming centers, with an expectation to have approximately another $1 million invested next year. To our board members, our chair, Mr. Rajesh Punja, our board members, Andre, Mr. Leslie Kasar, Anthony Kasar, our board advisors, Colin Hughes and Shanaz Voss, thank you for your guidance and helping us build a center which is supporting the company to attract global brands and to also attract and retain awesome employees who are helping us grow our company. Thank you for your support to always helping us do the right thing by our employees, right thing by our clients, by our community, and by our environment. To our wonderful clients, thank you for the opportunities you provide us. And we sincerely thank you for your support in helping us grow our brand and the support you provide us to your teams, to develop your teams here at Centercom. We also acknowledge our clients that are here today, Fiji Airways, Spotlight, Sanford Travel, and Aquali. Thank you for joining us to celebrate this important milestone. To the BPO Council, James, the President of the Council, is here with us today. Thank you for creating awareness for the industry and putting Fiji on the map as a supplier of premium contact center services. To our suppliers, we acknowledge the support you provide us every day, which ensures that we are able to continue to support our clients. I would like to acknowledge Total Facilities Management and VT Solutions for going over and above to ensure that the center was ready. Our landlord, Mark Prasad, thank you for giving us such a great building and supporting us with our never-ending requests. We've still got more to come, Mark. To my management team, thank you for your passion, your energy, and your dedication that you bring to our company every single day. It has not been an easy task, onboarding approximately an additional 500 people in the last year and a half, and setting up 3 additional sites, 2 of which are currently in progress. So, Minister, please expect more invitations to come and open more sites. We recognize the effort you have and continue to put in, and thank you for your commitment to always doing the right thing all the time. To our people, our wonderful employees, we are here today mainly because of each and every one of you. Thank you for coming to work every day with your bullet smiles and your bullet spirit that Fiji is well known for. Thank you for building confidence in our brand, which is helping us create jobs across Fiji and adding more members to our Centercom family. Thank you very much. I would also like to thank each and every one of you that have joined us here this evening to celebrate this special occasion. Vinaka.